In a funny sense of irony, this past weekend I was binge watching Avatar: The Last Airbender, and then when I was walking into Split on Monday, I was like, oh yeah, from the director of my most hated and despised movie of all time. I'm telling you, didn't plan that, but here we are. So Split is a new movie directed by M. Night Shyamalan. This one stars James McAvoy as this guy that has a bunch of different personalities in his head, 23 personalities to be exact. He kidnaps some girls, traps them in a secret bunker, and here's our movie. Now, it's no secret that M. Night Shyamalan's in a bit of a dry spell. You wanna know what M. Night Shyamalan movies I've seen? The Happening, Last Airbender, After Earth, The Visit. Obviously, I think really highly of this guy. But I've heard tales, I've heard legends back in the day when M. Night Shyamalan was starting out, this guy was gonna be the next Spielberg. And this movie, it kept my attention. I was pleasantly surprised by watching Split. First of all, James McAvoy in this movie, amazing. This guy's got 23 different personalities in his head. Now, granted, you don't see all of those personalities, but you see a good amount of them, and you get the sense right out the gate, like, this guy's not right in the head. There's a couple scenes when he's talking with two different personalities at the same time, but it's all going on in his head. Very reminiscent of what Andy Serkis did as Gollum in Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit. He's just one of those guys where when you see him, you feel uncomfortable with him. He's like if John Goodman from 10 Cloverfield Lane had a kid with Gollum. Yeah, who wouldn't feel uneasy being trapped with this guy? So there's 3 girls trapped in this bunker. 2 of them were alright. The main girl, though, she was really good. She's the one that kind of stands out. She's the loner. She doesn't really connect with the other girls that are in there. And it's really cool seeing her and these other girls in the different ways that they try to attack James McAvoy. The main girl's definitely the slowest, the most methodical one. And it was interesting seeing her work through this situation as well as overcoming some of her own personal demons. Because this movie does kind of give you a glimpse at why this girl is the way that she is. And for me, that's kind of where parts of the movie faltered, is the overall pacing of the movie. Comparing this movie to 10 Cloverfield Lane yet again, that movie worked so well because it's basically all set in that bunker. And so the tension is just building and building and building until you're waiting for it to snap. And Split, the tension is there when they're in the bunker, but they cut away from the bunker a few too many times for me to where that tension and momentum is lost. And while I was praising James McAvoy and the main girl in this movie, some of the supporting cast, you can tell they were directed by Shyamalan. Some lines that either come off a little too wooden or a little over dramatic. Part of the time they cut away from the bunker is flashbacks to the girl, again, when they tell you, like, you know, how she ended up the way that she is. And that slows the movie down for sure, but what's cool about this movie, everything in this movie comes to play at the end. I don't really know what I would cut out of this movie. I just feel like all that info could have been presented in a different way that was still interesting and not cutting away from the bunker too much. And then near the end of this movie takes a twist. I'm not really sure if it's a spoiler or not. I'm gonna keep it vague either way, but anyways, there's this thing that happens probably about 20 minutes left into the movie, and I was watching it and I was like, okay, I don't really know how I feel about that. But then at the very end of the movie, now I get why he did that. I feel like I personally would still have to do a little more research to fully get it, but from what I understand and from the world that this movie set up, it makes sense to me. So in the end, Split was a surprisingly enjoyable movie. James McAvoy and the main girl are really good. The supporting cast, like James McAvoy's psychiatrist and the 2 other girls, they're great in some scenes, not so great in others. The movie definitely chugs along at a snail's pace, but everything comes into play by the end of the movie. I feel like this is a movie that could get better on repeat viewings, but as it stands right now, I think Split's a good movie that could probably get better if I were to rewatch it. And yes, you've probably heard by now there's a big thing that happens at the end of this movie. It's something that I didn't see coming, and again, I'm gonna do a little more research on it, but it's definitely something that you'll want to experience for yourself. So I would say go see this movie as soon as you can before that twist gets spoiled for you. So I can't believe I'm saying it, but I'm recommending an M. Night Shyamalan movie in the year 2017. Miracles happen, apparently. So if you guys have seen Split, let me know what you think of it down in the comments. And thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, you can click subscribe and check out some of my other videos, and I'll catch you guys next time.